if you're going to get into ownership, typically it happens in your 30s, you know, after you've worked for a while. I was fortunate it happened kind of really young in my career. After I graduated and I did my residency, I taught at Butler for 2 years, and I was like on campus 2 or 3 days a week and up here with students 2 or 3 days a week. And then but I could tell I didn't grow to like the teaching part of it as much as I thought I would. So I put in my resignation, you know, after the spring semester. At the same time, Denny was looking to get into academia again. He had previously taught at Purdue. So it was very fortuitous that he was looking to leave and transition. At the same time, I was looking to transition myself. Although neither one of us had talked to each other about it at the same time, we just kind of halfway through the spring semester, I had finally told him what I was planning, and he's like, well, that's interesting because I'm actually probably leaving in a couple months too. There are advantages and disadvantages. That's no doubt about that. Some of the advantages are some control of your schedule and your environments, and if you want to get into some type of aspect of practice or a new specialty area, you know, you're in control of that. You can make it happen. You don't have to wait 6 months for a district manager approval and all that kind of stuff. So that's part of it I liked, that kind of freedom. You know, I've always been kind of headstrong and stubborn, so working for myself was probably a good thing at some point. So, you know, being able to kind of control some of those things yourself, I really liked. But the disadvantages are, you know, also you're responsible for everything. You know, you've got to be able to, you know, luckily I know a little bit about computers, so I can be a little bit of an IT person myself. I'm human resources, I'm payroll, every, you know, general maintenance, you know, I'm a cleaning crew if that's necessary. I'm on call, you know, quite a bit, although that doesn't happen very often, but, you know, we offer that for emergencies. And so, you know, there's a lot of responsibility that goes along with it. Some people would like, some don't. Some ways we compete is we try to provide as good a service as we can. You know, we try to be a little faster, a little more efficient, and we have our busy days too. But you know, they fill on a Monday as many scripts as I probably fill in 2 weeks. You know, now we have grown a lot in the last few years, but you know, that's obviously one aspect of it. People who like us, knowing them when they come in and being able to see them park their car and have their drugs already at the counter. Sometimes if I happen to see them in the parking lot because I know who they are. You know, price-wise, our overhead is pretty low, so our cash prices a lot of times are less than a lot of the chains because, you know, I don't have to pay for a fleet of delivery vehicles and all this kind of stuff, too. So we actually have a lot of uninsured patients who choose us for that reason. We have some special, you know, delivery services to the nursing home. We do weekly unit dose packaging of medicines in med sets for patients, you know, for people. That's another aspect of business and another niche. And we have compounding, you know, another little niche. We have like a lot of little niches then to try to fill in, and actually then what happens is the chain pharmacies, we have a real good relationship, I think, with all of them. And, you know, if there's stuff they just don't want to mess with, then they'll a lot of times send it to us. Or, you know, they're a referral source for us. You know, if I have a patient who just can't get here the hours that we're open, and, you know, I'll say, look, maybe you need to talk to the CVS or something that has longer hours than we have. Mm-hmm. But if you have somebody who needs extra level care and some, you know, mom needs some help having her medicines just set out for her already pre-dosed, well, that's something that we can help with, and they'll send patients over here for. Yeah. I don't know, like at the time, CVS would have been back where Goodwill is. Payless didn't even have pharmacies then. Marsh might have. Walgreens wasn't even built yet. So it wasn't as congested as it is now. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they would have picked the same location from scratch. So I know part of the census data and plan development was part of the reason why they've located this part of West Lafayette. And I'd been running things quite a bit, you know, kind of an operations type manager for Denny at the time. So I already was well established with the customers and everything. If that wasn't in place, you know, there definitely should have been. You know, we would have had more of a transition period where Denny could try to help introduce me to the clientele and those kind of things to instill some of that confidence. Like, hey, this is Chad. He's taking over for me. He's going to do a good job, take care of you. And then that's the way a lot of ownership transitions occur. If for some reason that's not able to happen, that is a big obstacle to overcome. Partially, I mean, I went to a smaller bank. That helped a lot. Denny, what we did is basically I took out a loan for half of the value of the pharmacy, and made a presentation of the business plan, and he basically, then I paid him like a direct loan. I basically paid him directly for the other half, paid the bank for a half, but everybody understood basically that after about 2 years we would reevaluate everything. The bank probably then would buy out Denny's side of the loan, and I would just pay the bank back, which is what happened. At the time he was here, we had just started to offer this weekly MedSet delivery, and we had like 5 patients. So we have about 120 patients now, and like that business that's something we deliver every Thursday. We deliver all those MedSets to patients, and that allows them to stay in their home for a little longer before they go to a nursing home. That business, that's weekly built-in business that I have every week with those deliveries. So that's very similar to me being open Saturday afternoons or Sundays or evenings. It's the same type of volume of business I would have if I was open, but I don't have to be here. I don't have to pay somebody to be here. I don't have So it's kind of that helps us. That's kind of nice. It helps us continue on and stuff. Our compounding business, he had it going and he was involved with it. But with my experience in Indianapolis, I was able to grow it quite a bit because of I've been involved in compounding down there at a larger pharmacy, and getting into we have durable medical equipment and oxygen and CPAP, BiPAP, and crutches and lift chairs now with Loves Your Clothes. We took over their Convicare franchise, and so that's an area that we're trying to grow and maintain what they had and take care of their patients as they transition to us.